Hey everybody, Nathan White, candidate for Palm Bay City Council Seat 4, bringing you a brief recap of the previous City Council meeting. I know not everyone has time to sit through 5, 6, 7 hour meetings, so I just want to bring you a short bullet point wrap up. I do encourage you to watch the video or at least look at the agenda, see if there's something that you'd want to skip to that part of the video on, but for now, just a few bullet points. I'm going to start with public hearing item number 1. Is an ordinance changing the city's comprehensive plan future land use map. That needs a shorter name. Doing what they love to do and changing the designation of a property. In this case, it's at the corner of Pace and St. John Heritage. It's actually the entire 96.5-ish acres from Emerson to Pace and from St. John Heritage to the first main connecting road in the neighborhood area. So it's almost a 100-acre rectangle there. And they're changing it from single-family residential use to, you guessed it, multifamily residential. And because they never do these things just because they're thinking about the future of the city, they do them because the developer has asked them to. So what that developer is asking for is a complex that in that less than 100 acres, 96.5-ish acres, 96.66, a 840 unit development. So it's going to be a little tight in there, especially considering the other restrictions. So those units are not spread out over the entire 96 acres because they have to have room for other things, communal buildings, roadways, retention ponds, things like that. So you can imagine how cramped that's going to be. But what's interesting here is City Council often uses staff recommendation as an excuse to ignore the people. And I'm not digging staff here, but they'll ignore residents' complaints or concerns, questions, saying, well, staff recommended this and we trust staff, they're professionals. They'll use that as kind of a cop-out. They don't want to listen to us because we're not professionals. We just live here. But interestingly enough, here, staff actually had some concerns that they also ignored. In the Public Works Department review here, traffic analysis for this area, come to the end, the findings section, it's just a paragraph. The maximum usage of 2,905 unit generated trips exceed the roadway capacity of Pace Drive Street, causing a deficient level of service. So basically, this is too much traffic. Actually, if you look at all the math, by far, for that road, for that area, deficient level of service is going to be the outcome. And their response to that is, well, then we'll have to, do something about that at some point, sometime, something. And that was it. And they approved it. Always fun. Jumping ahead to public hearing item number 11, actually. A substantial amendment to program year 2020 annual action plan. They misjudged the amount of money necessary to tear down the old fire station. They estimated it would cost $345,000 plus, and it ended up costing about $88,500. I don't know how you can be that wrong. But with $250,000, in fact, $256,000, so it's actually $2,000 more than a special election, fun fact. All of that left over because of that inaccurate estimate. It didn't go back anywhere. They just immediately approved its use somewhere else. They're going to spend $3,000 on some new park benches and a new fire truck, which will cost pretty much the rest of the money. They did actually just buy a fire truck with some of the $5.3 million that they spent really quickly without talking to us about it in their little spending spree over the last 2 meetings. But they're getting another one. Not sure how I feel about that. Didn't have the time to do any research on it because, again, they just did it really fast. But so we have to move on. So new business item number 2, consideration of a purchase offer for some city-owned real estate. So this is a 1-acre plot on Sportsman Lane. So this is right by Bass Pro and that church that's right there. It's a little 1-acre plot. And the broker, they had a brokerage firm do an estimate on what they think it should be listed for. The general summary from the broker says that they should list it for $595,000. stating, "This site is less than 1,000 yards from the highest traffic count in all of Brevard County, I-95 and Palm Bay Road. This area has seen the most aggressive and active growth anywhere in Brevard County for the last 5 to 10 years. No comparable property sales can be found for this property site since November of 2020. Properties currently the same size on Palm Bay Road near Babcock, so farther away from that extremely high traffic area, are currently listed for $598,000. So they recommended listing it for $3,000 less than those properties that are actually farther from the interstate. And this consideration of an offer that was put in, the offer was for $450,000. So 75% of the asking price. That's a steep discount. But they almost took it. In fact, one or two of the council members wanted to jump right on it. They said, "This is a small piece of land. Who wants to build right next to Bass Pro in a church?" Oddly, just kind of dissing the property, which is strange, ignoring the broker's evaluation as well. But thankfully, that didn't happen in this case. They did ask they ended by asking the city manager to make a counteroffer, but not specifying what that counteroffer should be, leaving it up to the manager. So we will see what they do there. I'm very curious and keep an eye on it. But yeah, 75% of the asking price, and it's only been on the market for 2 months. But they're eager to get rid of it, and that's apparently worth giving a discount equal to about a special election. So the last thing here is really quick. This is new business item number 2. Long story short, not a very long story anyway. They're changing the meeting times for the city council meetings, just from 7 o'clock, which is what it's usually been. They're changing it to 6 p.m. So from now on, the council meetings will be starting at 6 p.m. They are usually every first and third Thursday. They post them on their Facebook, and they're on the website and their calendar there. But those are going to be changing again. 6 p.m. is the new council meeting time. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video, taking the interest in what's going on in your city. There's a lot going on, and we're trying to keep track, but they love to do things fast. They love to do things when we're not looking, so I'm doing my best to shine a light on everything that's happening, whether you like certain things or you don't like certain things. Either way, we should know. The number of times I've spoken to people bringing something I saw at a council meeting, and they have no idea, and that's not unusual. Most people don't. They do a pretty good job of not talking about it outside of the places they're legally required to. So thank you for taking the time to watch this video. I hope you all have a wonderful week. Stay safe, stay healthy, and I will see you in the next video and hopefully around the city.